Can you explain AMD GPUs like this? I literally understood everything clearly. Easy. I got it. So a little context here. That comment was from a short video that I uploaded where I talked about how the NVIDIA GPU naming scheme works. But the way AMD names their GPUs is pretty different and can get confusing. Mostly because for a while their GPUs and their CPUs were named pretty similarly, especially when the 7000 series was coming out. The way to differentiate the generations of AMD GPUs is in kind of like the thousands, if you understand what I'm saying. For example, you know, the 6000 series, the 7000 series, and the current 9000 series. Now for the tiers of AMD GPUs, that's kind of labeled in the hundreds, I guess you could say. So for example, with the 7000 series, the lowest tier being the 7600, then the next one up being the 7600 XT, then the 7700 XT, then the 7800 XT, then the 7900 GRE, then the 7900 XT. The main difference between those two GPUs is that the 7900 GRE has 16 gigs of VRAM and the 7900 XT has 20 gigs of VRAM. And then the highest tier being the 7900 XTX. Now, for this current generation of AMD GPUs, they decided to switch things up, being very similar to how NVIDIA names their GPUs. The lowest tier would be the 9060, then the 9060 XT, then the 9070, and the highest right now is the 9070 XT. Because AMD decided that they didn't want to do any high-end GPUs for the series, I'm assuming that they decided to change the naming scheme of the GPU so that they can differentiate between the CPU and the GPU. Now, I don't know how this is going to go in the future if NVIDIA ever comes out with a 90 series, but that's probably going to be very far in the future, or it might not even happen. So yeah, I hope I explained this pretty well because AMD can get a little bit confusing.